So welcome everybody back. So we will learn about how to make a model and the basics of Blender 2.83. So here is Blender. The version of Blender is Blender 2.83. Now when you open the Blender, you see a cube, a default cube. Now using this cube, what we will do is we delete this cube using the delete button. Now first you go to this add. You see this mesh. Now you see this UV sphere. You see it brings a UV sphere. It brings a sphere. So you see this wrench. This is the modifier properties. So you go here and add a modifier, the subdivision surface modifier. Subdivision surface modifier smoothens it up and it makes in such a shape that maybe sometimes you don't want this shape or sometimes you want this shape. So you have to do some things using the shade smooth option. Just right click and you see shade smooth. You shade smooth and its shade is smooth. So let us apply. Now you see here. Now you see. Now let us tab into edit mode. Press the tab button. You see edit mode. Or you can just bring it from here. So in this, you see the edit mode is the most important mode that we are going to use in here. And another thing we are going to learn is the proportional editing tool. So you see this thing, or you can use O if you are a hotkey user. So select here and O. So it enables the proportional editing tool. So now you see it enables it. Or you can press here. Now what we are going to do, we are going to see this thing. It needs to be sharp. You go in here and you can select anything. Now I'm going to use sharp because I'm going to model an egg. So G, and you see this circle. What does this circle do? This circle, if you increase it, it depends on what and how much it will move. So you see, it moves in such a way, if you increase it will move the whole thing. So let's just do in this side. If you want, you can make an apple also. It's very easy. Now you go to front. If you have a numpad, then you can use the numpad 7. But I don't have a numpad or a keyboard, so I am using a different key. So you can say it's not looking so nice. Now what we can do is, let's select the smooth one only. See, it smooths things up. So see, it brings a egg kind of shape. So see, it looks like an egg. Now you know eggs have kind of a color. So in here, now let us go to this. You see there are 3 options in here. This is the wireframe mode. This is the viewport shading mode. These are all. This is the solid mode. This is the material preview mode, and this is the rendered mode. In the rendered mode, the light works. So you see this light, it shows the light, or else you can't see. So just hide the light or delete it. You see, it's gone because you can't see, it is dark. So in here, this is the material preview. It definitely shows some light. And now in here, you come and select this thing. Now you see this kind of material properties down here. Now let's click this and you will add a new. First you save this thing. Let us name this egg. So go to workspace, Blender. I've made it, so save it here. So now you see it added a material. This material you can add any color, a color which you want. So you can add a greenish color, yellowish color, and this can be also used for if you want the Easter egg festival. You can show it for people surprised. Now let's see, let us give a brownish color, like the rare eggs one, or you can give it a whitish color. Any choice of yours. I just give this kind of color. So now it looks nice. So in here today we learned about how to proportional edit a thing. So you learned proportional editing tool. Now this was just a model. So we will make 2 more models. Then we will learn the basics. Some more basics which you have to need. Let us save this thing. Now you go and let us open a new Blender project. This again a default cue comes. This is irritating, but you have to. There's no option for this. So now we are going to do is let the cube only stay, don't delete it. So now you will learn is how to make a joystick. Have you ever played video games and all those things? And now this is a different kind of joystick, a joystick which you have never seen. So in here today we will learn how to insert and duplicate things. Like now you go here. So I told you in the egg one that I told that you can go to the material preview and the rendered one. But there's another way. You just press the Z one. You see rendered and material preview, and it goes into. If you just press the Z key, you'll see this solid wireframe mode and rendered and material preview. So let's go to solid mode again. Now let's do Shift D, which means duplicating. Shift D duplicates the object in here. But we are not going to duplicate it. We are going to turn this into edit mode. And you see these 3 things. This is the vertex selection mode. You can select any vertex or you can pull the vertex. You can select the edge mode, which you can Control Z. E is to extrude things. E to extrude, and you see this, it extrudes. You can extrude this thing in, or you can extrude this thing out. And one thing, suppose you by mistakenly you deleted the face. What happened? Oh no, nothing will happen. Now you see, let us go to edge selection mode, and now Alt press one edge. It selects this whole edge. Now you just press this F. F fills the face or the thing. It fills it from all areas like this, and now you can just G this thing. Just comes back to the place where we are. And now let's tab this thing, and now let's delete this thing only. So now let's add a Q. S on the Z axis. Now you see I told you S in the Z axis. First you need to learn all these axes. You see these lines, this red line and this green line, and there must also be there is no blue line, but the blue line is on the Z axis and this green line is the Y axis. And you see this red line, this is the X axis. So if you want to scale means it will size the object up and down. So S on the Z axis. So you see it increases and decreases in the. Now you see in the X axis it is. Now if you do in the Y axis, it does it like this. So now I will teach you another thing, which is the rotation. So you press the R key and it rotates. But you see, if you rotate this thing, depends on how you view it. It rotates like this. So disgusting. But if you want to make it in the proper Y axis and the Z axis on the X axis, so you just R Y, press R and Y, it does it like this. You can animate also like this. In the animation I'll tell you. Now you can do it from, let me show you. Does it like this and this, R and X and it. And so let's just make the joystick. So let's select this face in the face selection mode, and now you see press I, or you can just in here you see insert faces. It inserts a face. You just pull this thing, but I prefer it as for hotkey users. You can press the I key. Now you see, now you can eat this thing. Sometimes it just extrudes it on the Z axis only. You just don't have to click the Z axis. And sometimes it doesn't. So let's start this thing. Now I'm going to add a cylinder. Go to the add and cylinder, or you can do Shift A to add a cylinder or any mesh. Now in here I told you that you can use the subdivision surface modifier, but the subdivision surface modifier doesn't give you a shape. It disgusts your shape. So don't press this X button, it comes in the real form. Or if you apply it, you can't undo that thing. So S, Z on the Z axis. Bring this thing a little up. And now you know we can add another UV sphere, which is going to be the holder. If you want to move, you see this gizmo? See this? It moves it on the Y and in the X axis. And if you want to move for hotkey users, you can use the G key. But the G key doesn't give you a very good thing. Now if you want, I told you about the Z and the Y axis and the X axis. So let us, in which axis you want to move it, just press G and X for moving from this, G and Y from this, Z, G and Y from this. So now you see, let's place this thing, or you can use the gizmos. I told that thing for the hotkey uses. That is S to scale. It's so irritating because this is a 3D modeling place. You just have to see from which dimension it has been placed. So you add the subdivision surface modifier. It doesn't harm you in this one. Applying Control S, and this is going to be another joystick. You see, it does. Now we can add another cylinder, or we could just shift D this thing, which means duplicate. Just duplicate this on the y-axis. How did I move this in the y-axis? When you duplicate this, it moves. It automatically makes the mesh move. You don't have to press the G button again. It automatically moves. Then if you press Y, X, now it is S in the Z axis. You see this thing? Yes. Now see, these are the buttons. So let us S this thing. Shift D and the X axis. If you want to make a wire, you can, but I'm not going to. It looks nice for me. Now you go to the material preview tab, or you can go to the render tab. In both tabs you can see the color. So let us add a new, first let the Control S. Now you see, you can give this a reddish kind of color, reddish. Yes, and you can give a button some kind of reddish color. Okay, so again, if you want to bring the same color of this reddish button or this reddish sphere, you can use this eyedropper. So you see this eyedropper. This eyedropper can pick in any object's color, but it does not bring it the perfect color. So you just deepen this thing down now. Or you can just duplicate this, but that is not on. Well, we did this thing in a faster way. So see, we can grayish this thing, grayish. Yes, now you can make your wire or your own thing, but I didn't. Oh, I forgot about this. Now let us just do this thing. Yes, blackish. I like it. Now our joystick is finished. In here, what did we learn? We learned how to insert faces and how to duplicate things. Now you see, in the render tab, with the light, it looks like it is sunlight, and or if you want to change this, you can change lights too. If you deleted this, no problem. You can add another light. So you go to add and you select light and select sun. It gives you a better idea. You can also change its color, and you can also change its strength, but the sun has a very powerful. If you just did 10,000, 9,000, it will give you a more power. So just let's do it 7. It gives it much better. So in another tab, you see this light, and this is blocking our way. There's another tab, you see this animation tab. It shows you in a better way. It shows you without all those gizmos and all those things, all those lights and gizmos. It shows you in a better way. You can also change one thing. Let us go to the shading tab one. Now you see this if your background is not looking so good, the shading tab, you can also change it. So you go in this thing, and now you see this. Now let us change. You can change it from any, like this darkish room, not good. So I select this one. It looks good. There's all this light and so see, it's not happening. So let's save this thing. Now let us do is a new thing. So we had done the joystick in the last. So today, we are going to do a TV. So you opened another cube, and let's delete this. Now let us add a plane. See? Now let's do RY90. You can write this thing like 90. So it is on the 90. The y-axis on the 90. So let us S this object. Now let us do this on the z-axis for a more TV thing. Now let's move this thing. Now let's have this thing, face selection mode, S to scale, array, I to insert, G and the Y, no, the X. This to be a little 3 dimension. Oh, Control Z. So now let's E this thing a little. Yes. Now let's S and good. Now to select this one, and let's just I. So I is for insert. Now it is done. So it gives it a good shape. Now what we could add is so let us go to the front. Oh no, in the right orthographic view. So now let us add an image, a reference image, and Blender. Now let us TV image, JPEG, no reference image. Oh, S in the Z. This, and now let us this SZ more. SZ a little. SZ a little more. Yes, SY and yep. And where is our TV here? Now this is still this inserted one. Now let us go here. Now insert this. Now let's control this thing and name this TV. Now let's save Blender. Now we will add a new material, and this will be brown, blackish, because all TVs have black kind of thing. So we have done our TV. Yes. Now I'm going to teach you the basics. So now I'm not going to tell very much. I'm just going to tell about the animation thing now. Now you just see this timeline. Now you just do is R, Z, and just do this. Alright, a little. Now let's press I and location rotation. Then let's move this thing to 2. Then R, Z another time. And let's do I, location rotation. Now let's do R, Z and I, location rotation. Now let's end this to 3. Now, woo-wee, our first animation. Okay, so now we're going to do is in our modeling tab. We are going to, I told you about the knife thing. So just press the knife, and here another, and here. If you have finished your knife job, you can press the enter. So now you just select faces. Now you can delete faces, and just as I said, you can fill also. Like select this, and this is just F. It filled. F. Oh, F. It's not happening. It's okay. Though cancel. So I'm going to show you some of my projects of UV editing. So you see this UV editing. What is UV editing? UV editing brings you the edit mode. If you do A, you see this kind of thing. So you just need to do Smart UV project on OK. Just I'm not saving. You just have to do open new, and let's save this. It will help you to do the texture paint, and you need to do right. So I've done some UV mapping, UV projects. Sorry, not sorry. This. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Actually, I did like this one. I did an animation. You see this? I did a UV mapping using a guitar one. Wait, the guitar. Alright, so first let me show you this one, the Sudarshan Chakra. Okay, but this doesn't have any code. Oh wow! Alright, now let's see this thing. Where is my electric guitar? Here it is. Now you see, it is much better. Yes. Wow. Oh, I made this apple. I told you about the apple. But oh no, it's pinkish. So I'm going to show you some more of my projects just like this. I was thinking I'm going to make a game in Unity, but my father told me no, it is time for you to learn Python. But I just wanted to make a game. I was totally ready of making all these tracks, and my father told no. That was very sad. So I make this egg and discuss that egg with you, and bouncing ball. Wow, boing boing. So thank you, and I had a very nice day, and this is for my Independence Day. I told you to add an image and the Independence Day which is coming, and I did this for my missile. Wow, India Jai Hind. So I made this Olaf too. Hi, I'm Olaf. I like warm hugs. I need an action. So I made a bow also. Bow. Have you seen an arrow and the Sudarshan Chakra? You see, the Sudarshan Chakra is. Someone's gonna kill me. Oh no, that's not it. Because you're not Shishupal. Yep. So thank you, and I had a very nice day talking with you. Bye. Bye guys.